Merry Christmas. It's late and I'm exhausted, as you can see from all the activity from today, but I just had to record this while it's still fresh. The highlight of my evening was Church with Hope. The plan was to meet her at her church because we both had to go see family afterward. Well, I was so nervous, but I was trying my best to act cool. And I didn't want to botch my date with Hope, but there was this greater sense of something big that was just impending. Well, I met Hope in the lobby, and she looked more radiant and beautiful than ever. Man, her whole appearance seemed to carry this supernatural glow. Yeah, that sounds weird, but she was fully feeding off the joy of the day. And she led me into the actual place where the service happened, and we scouted a seat halfway up. We made small talk until the service began, of course. The music was incredible. It was so high energy and full of spirit. And I'm not much of a singer, and I felt just a bit awkward sitting next to Hope, especially because she has like the greatest voice I've ever heard. Of course, just added to the many things that she's good at. But I sang a little anyway. And then it came time for the message. I had all these images about what the pastor and the message would be like, albeit they were mostly from television. I was pleasantly surprised at how natural speaking and warm he was. It was really cool. I definitely didn't belong there like so many others did, but I still felt really welcomed and really touched. He started talking about all the human solutions to human problems. At first, I didn't understand where he was going with all of this. It was kind of depressing. But then he talked about how God had a perfect solution and that it wasn't a Calvary or a crusade or a government office or a bailout, but it was a baby. He talked about how ironic it was and is that a baby could deal with all these really horrific things in the world and in humanity. But he made his point by saying that all this baby and the man he would grow to be would capture the hearts of people and change them from their inside to their out. He said that's the only kind of change that works and lasts. And then I felt it like he was speaking just to me, directly to my soul. And he said that a lot of people play around with trying to change a little here and a little there, and that many of us try to improve ourselves by our own power. That described my last month to a perfect T. And then he said, what do you really need is to take hold of a new, changed, reformed life like only God can give. And all new life begins with a baby. I know now what's been going on with me. I can actually connect to the dots of my last month of experiences and see it now. And I've been trying to figure out what my life, when I think God is offering me a new life, it's something completely different and it's brand new. It's breaking out, it's bursting, and now I see it. It all starts with this baby in a manger. And he got through to me tonight. And I glanced over at Hope and I could see her gently nodding. I get it, why she's so different. A new life starts with a baby. Well, when the service was over and Hope looks at me hopefully, I think she saw that I was stirred up inside. She gave me a hug on the sidewalk and said, "Merry Christmas," and reminded me that those who seek will find. And there's always something I don't understand. There's so much I'm not sure about, and I don't know how to move past it anyway. I still don't get how to accept God's forgiveness. I especially can't figure out what it must mean to have a relationship with someone I can see or touch or hear. And I'm convinced that I'm not going to let it all just stop me, though. I can't let that happen. This has been the most incredible Christmas I've ever experienced. And I never would have guessed that things could change so much in a month, but they have. Everything has changed. Something new really did break out. and I'm excited about whatever comes next, and I'm so thankful to have people like Hope, like Kate, and Rob to help me figure this out. Yeah, alright, and Jack is not off the hook either. He's got to get a hold of this too. Merry Christmas.